This shirt is just so incredibly awkward. I don't know how I'm supposed to wear it. If I put it down, it's too much boobage. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be telling you a story about my crazy, insane, amazing trip to Montreal, Canada that happened many moons ago, but I still remember it as if it were yesterday. Oh gosh, I'm so old. This happened when I was 18 years old, and as all you 18-year-olds know, when you're 18 you feel invincible and you feel like you could do anything in the world. Well, guess what? You can, except drink alcohol. That is, if you live in the United States. At 18, I wanted to drink. Finally, after much research, I found the perfect place to engage in my legal drinking activities, and that place was going to be 6 hours north in Montreal, Canada. Lovely Montreal. The drinking age was 18 as well as the gambling age, so I said, you know what, let's go, let's make it a road trip, it's gonna be super fun. And obviously nobody wanted to go with me because at 18 not everyone's crazy enough to just hop in a car and drive to another country. Also, not a lot of people had passports. So the one friend that I could convince to go with me was my friend Mike, who was like my absolute best friend. And yes, he's a dude, and yes, we dated for like a month, but he is totally just my friend. And I told my mom, you know what, I'm 18 years old, I'm going to Canada, and there's really not much you can do about it. I'm just gonna go. I would not recommend doing that with your parents, but that just happened to fly with my mom for some reason or another. I think it's also because she liked my friend Mike. But anyways, so we made our way to Canada, and before you knew it, 6 hours later, we were in the promised land where everyone could drink at the tender age of 18. So we intended on staying for 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, and during those 2 nights we really wanted to make the best of it. So I remember the first night we got all dressed up. We went to this part of the strip, I think it was called Saint Laurent, I'm not 100% sure, but there was like this booming nightclub. At the bar, we're taking shots, we're drinking, having a good time. It was kind of my game plan to scope out the place, see if there are any cute guys. My friend Mike, I was his wing woman. I was kind of on the lookout for some honeys for him. And all of a sudden, I spot this guy. I really wasn't sure if he was cute. He kind of looked like a mix between one of the less good-looking Backstreet Boys and like your next door neighbor. So I gave him the eyes and he walked over, and before he even spoke to me, I had the intention in my mind to just do something totally unlike myself. I decided that I was going to create a persona for myself that night. And that persona was going to speak very little to no English. I decided to fake this by pretending that I was just right off the boat from Czech Republic. And as you guys know, I am Czech. I am from Czech Republic, but I don't have an accent. I don't speak broken English. And while I do speak Czech, I mostly speak English. So the guy's talking to me, he wants to buy me a drink, and I'm nodding, and he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from the Czech Republic. And I just went on like that for like the entire night, and he just totally bought it without any question. And it was actually kind of hilarious because at one point in the night, one of his friends joined him, and he was like, you'll never believe this, but my friend is from Czech Republic. And my heart just literally stopped because his friend started speaking Czech to me. And while yes, I do speak Czech, I do have a little bit of an American accent when I speak in Czech. So I was just trying to avoid talking to this guy at all costs, because then he was gonna be like, yo, she has a Czech American accent. And then he was gonna be like, well, she has an American Czech accent, so where are you from? I quickly got rid of his friend. I was like, I can't deal with this. This is like too nerve-wracking. My lie is about to be exposed. We're continuing to drink, continuing to dance. Another one of his friends come over and they're talking, and his friend's like, yo, who's this hot chick? And he's like, oh, not really sure, but she barely speaks any English and I'm totally gonna take her home tonight. And the dude's like, whoa, dude, why are you saying that in front of her? She could like totally hear you. And he's like, no, dude, don't worry. She like barely speaks English. Like, I'm totally going to have sex with her tonight. And I'm just standing there just like, what? I don't understand. And I just wanted to punch the dude in the face. At that point, I decided to put the brakes on this because while at this age I was really crazy and out of control. I was not about to go with some random stranger to his place and potentially hook up. So I said, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling very good. I'm going to go back to my hotel now. And so I ended up leaving, and he was really disappointed, but he did end up getting my number. So the next day I wake up and I'm extremely hungover, and my friend Mike and I are laughing about this whole entire evening, how I faked this guy out with my fake persona and accent. And he's like, are you gonna talk to him again? And I'm like, I don't really know. Maybe I'll just continue talking to him just for a little bit, see where things go. Maybe he can meet up with us tonight and buy me some more drinks. So I'm texting him, and in our sober states, I realize he's actually like a really cool guy, and I start to feel bad about the fact that I'm lying to him, and texting in really broken English is proving to be really, really annoying and difficult. So I turn to my friend Mike and I say, you know what, I'm just gonna tell this guy, I'm gonna tell this little French-Canadian backstreet boy that I speak better English than he does. I sit down to write him the text message. So I texted him this huge paragraph, and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I actually speak English way better than you. I am Czech, but I'm actually from Connecticut, and last night was a complete and total lie. And he texted me back laughing about the entire thing, and surprisingly he was okay with it. Decided that we were gonna be friends and meet up the second night again, and later on that evening we met up for dinner, and it was so weird just approaching him and just being myself and not having to fake an accent. And he was just completely freaked out by the whole entire situation because he was so used to hearing me with an accent, and he pretty much just congratulated me and said that I'm an amazing actress and that he's so stunned that I was able to pull off that accent for the entire night without any fault or slip up. So yeah, and surprisingly enough, me and this guy, we ended up being pretty good friends. We stayed in touch even after I went back to Connecticut, and then the several times I went to Montreal afterwards, we ended up like meeting up and hanging out. So it's kind of weird how our friendship formed. So that is my crazy story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love doing these kind of videos, so if you like these videos, let me know and I'll do more. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!